YouTube is being a little funky. YouTube's being a bit funky, but it's okay. Welcome in, y'all, if you're here, if you're coming in. I don't know if you will, but if you're here, welcome in. Why does that always happen? Oh, y'all gonna see this post right here. Y'all really not there. What? I don't know if this can get any clearer, but I wanted to see. All right. Story, live, reading with Miss Taylor Said, with some books at the title. Welcome in, y'all. Are y'all in here? There's somebody on YouTube. Hey, YouTube person. Hey, YouTube person. I'm glad you're here. No one else is. It's fine. Welcome in. Hello. 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 I'm going to let some people get in here before I start. I don't even want to get started until some people is in here. I wasn't here yesterday, so I'm going to wait on people to get in here. Let me go ahead and share this on Miss Twitter Girls. Let's see. Let's share this on Twitter. It's looking like holy matrimony over here, okay? It's looking like matrimony. Oh, this playback's going to be delightful for someone. Hopefully everything's all right. Hopefully everything's all right with the algorithm and such. I probably upset the algorithm yesterday by not doing my thing. It's okay. It's all right. I'm giving it a little more time before I just go ahead and start. Oh, it's like real empty in here today. Where y'all at? Y'all all busy today. Tuesday getting the best of y'all. What's up? Where y'all at? I look nice today. Where are y'all? Hello. Welcome in. I don't know who's watching over on Facebook, but welcome. Dang. I missed one day. And nobody's here. I missed one day. Nobody here. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Got YouTube going, got Instagram going, got Facebook. Thank you, Sarante. I'm over here looking like holy matrimony. Thank you, Aaron, looking like holy matrimony. I know, Sarante. I'm sorry. Listen, I found that people be secretly watching my stuff and don't be telling me. So that's why I'm like, Facebook don't tell me who's watching. Instagram tells me who's watching. YouTube don't tell me who's watching. So finding out that people are secretly watching you, girl. I don't be knowing who's in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a decent mood. I had a very eventful, incredibly eventful week and weekend. shit has not been calm since I've come back from Vegas. I want y'all to know. I'm not going to tell y'all my business, but shit ain't been calm since I've been back from Vegas. Okay. My life has been a whirlwind. Oh, and I was just so emotionally drained yesterday that I needed time and still didn't get it. Right. For real. Like, hold on, Sorante. Hold on. I got to think. Hold on. I don't have a tiara. Right? Sorante, right? I don't have a tiara. But your girl got a flower crown if I wanted to, See, now I look like I'm going to go get married to somebody, and ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing. Let me rip one of these off, tape it on, and make it a veil, okay? Holy matrimony. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I ain't getting married to nobody. All right, y'all. Well, it's been enough. I have enough people in here to feel comfortable. So welcome to Reading What Miss Taylor Said. My name is Taylor. I'm also known as Miss Taylor Said, and I started this show on November 30th of 2020 in an effort to complete some goals that I have. Thank you. In an effort to complete some goals that I have. One of those goals being that I want to actually complete the books that I own. I've collected a lot of books over the years. I own a good amount of books, and I have not finished them. So I would like to start some of them. I would like to finish all of them. I would like to start all of them, and I would like to finish all of them. And that's why I'm doing this. That's the first reason why. Sorry, I had to get myself together. The second reason why I started this show is because I want to get more comfortable with reading aloud in front of an audience. The things that I want to do with my life are going to include me reading teleprompters, scripts, cue cards, speeches, stuff like that. Things that are going to require me reading, looking at a camera or looking at some people and reading it correctly the way it's supposed to be articulated. So I want to go ahead and get that practice in now. And that's what the show is. It's practice for my future. Okay. I sound like my little sister. And the third reason why I started this show is because I want to get more comfortable with public speaking. It's something that I used to do in the back days when I was in college, but I don't do it anymore. Sorry, y'all. I am in a pretty decent mood. So I sound pretty goofy, and I'm actually happy. I'm really happy to be back. I'm tired and everything, and I would love to have a 48-hour nap. However, ain't nobody got time for that. So the last reason why I started is because I want to get more comfortable with public speaking. I used to do public speaking in college and in high school, and I got away from it. I used to perform poetry and everything, and I got to perform poetry this last weekend. I got to perform poetry over the weekend, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm getting back in my bed. I'm in my bed. Okay. And I used to do public speaking when I was in high school and college, and I want to get back to it because it's what I feel most comfortable doing. It is my favorite thing to do. I miss public speaking so much. And so that's why I started Reading What Miss Taylor Said. And 2020 gave me the opportunity to work on public speaking through a virtual platform. So I'm thankful for you guys showing up. Thankful for you guys being here. I cannot thank y'all enough for the love and the support. I can't thank y'all enough for fucking with me. Like, for real. Excuse the language, but I'm grown. Thanks for fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. So let's go ahead and get into the book. The book that we are reading is The Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Of Emotionally Immature Parents is the book that we're reading by Dr. Lindsay Gibson. We are going into chapter 5. The last chapter that we talked about were the 4 types of emotionally immature parents. Now we're going to get into the children that are the products of, yes, I'm good and recharged. Thank you very much. I'm good and recharged. Okay. We're going to get into how different children react to emotionally immature parents. Chapter 5. Y'all ready? We good? Let's go. When immature parents can't engage emotionally and give their children enough attention or affection, their children cope by imagining healing fantasies about how their unmet emotional needs will be fulfilled in the future. They also cope by finding a special family role, creating what I called a self role. The self role is designed to get some kind of attention from a preoccupied parent. Thank you guys for all the love. If you're just joining us, we're reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. If you're watching this right now, please share, please like, please comment, and all the things. Okay? Thank you so much. The self role is designed to get some kind of attention from a preoccupied parent. In this chapter, we'll begin by looking at healing fantasies and role selves, and then explore two very different coping styles that children use in order to deal with emotional neglect: internalizing or externalizing. So we have internalizing or externalizing, okay? Unfortunately, neither coping style allows a child to fully develop his or her potential. Because of their parents' preoccupation, these children are likely to feel that their true selves aren't enough to engage their parents. As a result, they start believing that the only way to be noticed is to become something other than who they really are. Sadly, the true self, which consists of a child's innate aptitudes and genuine feelings, takes a backseat to what seems necessary to secure a place in the family. Although the true self still exists beneath the surface, it's often squelched by family rules that put the parents' needs first. In chapter 7, we'll look at what happens when the underlying truth of self resurfaces to wake people up to their real feelings and full potential. But for now, let's look at how healing fantasies and family roles affect people in both childhood and adult life. The next section is called The Origins of Healing Fantasies. And baby, let me tell you something about Taylor and what I had to do to get through childhood. I lived in a fantasy world. A fantasy world. I'm so creative now, and I'm so dreamy and open to love and all that stuff now, most of my life, because I created fantasies. Baby, I knew I was a Disney princess. What? That one day somebody was going to come get me out of the tower and I was going to be saved. I just knew. Thank you, Disney, for providing a visual of what an escape the fuck looks like. Okay? So, the origins of healing fantasies. Having immature parents forces children to adjust to their parents' emotional limitations. Let me read that again. Having immature parents forces children to adjust to their parents' emotional limitations. Children react to emotionally immature parenting in a number of ways as they attempt to be noticed, cared for, and engaged with. But the one thing all emotionally deprived children have in common is coming up with a fantasy about how they will eventually get what they need. That is heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. That's the reality, but that's heartbreaking. As children, we make sense of the world by putting together a story that explains our life to us. We imagine what would make us feel better and create what I call a healing fantasy, a hopeful story about what will make us truly happy one day. Children often think the cure for their childhood pain and emotional loneliness lies in finding a way to change themselves and other people into something other than what they really are. We carry this into adulthood. So I'm going to say that one more time because us hurt kids, us role fulfilling kids, children often think the cure for their childhood pain and emotional loneliness lies in finding a way to change themselves and other people into something other than what they really are. Healing fantasies all have that theme. Therefore, everyone's healing fantasy begins with if only. For instance, people may think they'd be loved if only they were selfless or attractive enough, or if only they could find a sensitive, selfless partner. Or let me read that again. For instance, people may think they'd be loved if only they were selfless or attractive enough, or if only they could find a sensitive, selfless partner. Or they may think their life would be healed by becoming famous or extremely rich or making other people afraid of them. Or they think their life would be healed by becoming famous or extremely rich or making other people afraid of them. Unfortunately, the healing fantasy is a child's solution that comes from a child's mind, so it often doesn't fit adult realities. Bruh, I need y'all to know this is slapping right now. This is hitting, spitting right now, okay? Wow. Because how many of us think that, because capitalism has us all fucked up and roped by the fucking neck. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. Wow, I'm cussing a lot. I'm wearing the pure white color and I'm cussing more than normal. I don't care that much. Capitalism got us by the throat. Okay? Capitalism got us by the throat, and it had our parents by the throat. So it had them more by the throat than it had us. And if it had them more by the throat than it had us, and they thought that maybe if I get rich, if I make this money, if I do this, if I do that, then I will be able to provide a better life for my kids. It didn't happen for them. And then they were providing a shitty life for their kids. And then their kids felt like, if I'm going to change my life, I have to go be successful. I have to be a star athlete. I have to be a movie star. I have to be a singer. I have to be a rapper. God dang it. I have to be a rapper. I have to be a rapper. How many of you niggas want to be rappers? Like, and there's nothing wrong with being a rapper. There's nothing wrong with going into music. There's nothing wrong with going into the arts or athletics, because that's what you're passionate about and that's what you want. But having to do it as a means of survival, as a means of, my life sucked, I need to make a better life, I want my children to have a better life than I had. Like, the fact that we have to do that when our lives should have already been satisfying and fulfilling in our childhood, and just take that and expand on it rather than trying to do something completely different. But here we all are in a space where all of us are working hard and getting frustrated because we're not getting to the point where we want to get fast enough so that we can create a life for our children. So now, listen, I'm turning 30 this year. My time is ticking. I still ain't rich. How am I still not rich? And I'm turning freaking 30. Like, I'm still not rich and I don't have no kids. And now how am I going to be able to create a life for my kids? Because I got to have kids within the next 5 years. And if I don't have kids within the next 5 years, then my eggs are going to be all dried up and I'm not going to be able to have kids, or I'm going to be an old ass mom. And I don't want to be an old ass mom. So I got to get rich. I got to do this. I got to do that. Like, putting all this pressure on yourself off of a fantasy that was created when you were a child because your childhood was not fulfilling. Ain't that some shit? Something else. Let's keep reading. Unfortunately, the healing fantasy is a child's solution that comes from a child's mind, so it often doesn't fit adult realities. Welcome in. If you're just now joining us, we're reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. But whatever the healing fantasy, it gives a child the optimism to get through a painful upbringing in hopes of a better future. Many people have survived a miserable childhood in this way. The hopeful fantasy of one day being loved and attended to keeps them going. The next section is called How Healing Fantasies Affect Adult Relationships. As we grow into adulthood, we secretly expect our closest relationships to make our healing fantasies come true. Ooh, let's say that one again, okay? As we grow into adulthood, we secretly expect our closest relationships to make our healing fantasies come true. Our subconscious expectations for other people come straight from this childhood fantasy world. We believe that if we keep at it long enough, we will eventually get people to change. We might think our emotional loneliness will finally be healed by a partner who often thinks of our needs first, or a friend who never lets us down. Often, these unconscious fantasies are quite self-defeating. For example, one woman secretly believed that if she only could make her depressed father happy, she would finally be free in her own life to do what she wanted. She didn't realize that she was already free to live on her own, even if her father stayed miserable. She was already free to live on her own, even if her father stayed miserable. Another woman was sure she could get the kind of love she longed for from her husband if she did everything he wanted. When he still didn't give her the attention she thought she'd earned, she was furious with him. She was furious with him. Her anger covered the anxiety. Her anger covered the anxiety she felt when she realized her healing story wasn't working, even though she'd given it her best shot. Since childhood, she had been sure she could make herself lovable by being a good person. We usually have no idea that we're trying to foist a healing fantasy on someone, but it can be seen in the little tests of love we put people through. It's easier for an outsider to see how unrealistic the fantasy is. Successful marital therapy often involves exposing how people's healing fantasies try to force their partners to give them the loving childhood they always wished for. Woo! I'm going to say that one more time. Una más. Okay, going to say that one more time for the one time. Successful marital therapy often involves exposing how people's healing fantasies successful marital therapy often involves exposing how people's healing fantasies try to force their partners to give them the loving childhood they always wished for. Because we're looking for our parents and these partners. Bro, when I tell you, good grief. Let me turn this air off because I know it's loud. When I tell you, ooh, phone, don't fall. When I tell you, I have dated all my parents and different people. I've dated my parents because I was looking for the love that I wanted and the attention that I wanted. Listen, when you grow up in a big family, it's hard to give undivided attention to one child. It just is. I have 9 siblings. I grew up in a house where there were 5 of us children. And it is hard. It is hard to dedicate attention to one child at a time. Now, don't get me wrong. The attempts were made and I did get individual time with a parent. Okay? My baby sister's in here, so she know what it is. Like, my dad did what he could, because he was the most emotionally available parent at that time. But it's like, you can only do so much because there's 5 of us. There's an older one. There's 2 middle ones. There's 2 babies. It's too much. It's too much. And so then we go out into this world and we meet people. And we go into the world, we meet people, and we have these relationships with people looking for the things that the people that raised us didn't give us. When I tell y'all, I've dated my parents, all of them. I dated my mama for 6 years. I had a little rendezvous with someone that was like my father, my biological father. And I dated someone that is like my stepdad. And we do that. We do that because we're looking for our childhood, the healing that we didn't get in childhood. We're looking for it from them. Now, and that's if you grew up in a situation where you didn't get all the love and attention and all the things that a child needs. That's it. But if you didn't have an emotionally immature parent, God bless you. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that you got that experience. Oh, my sister over here coming out with the wisdom. Come on, 18. She said, facts. We want to be low-key babied by the people we're in a relationship with that we didn't get from the parents. Facts. We want to be baby because baby, the way that I just want to be like, no, I just want to be held and loved and protected. Because the way that I want to be held, loved, protected, and babied and taken care of. Why? Because I needed it. I needed it. I needed it. Sorry, y'all. I'm feeling someone's feelings right now. I'm feeling someone's feelings. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I'm so sorry. Okay. Whew, right here on my heart. Gosh. The white is supposed to be reflective of the feelings, but I be feeling people's feelings. Okay. So the next section says how healing fantasies affect adult relationships. No, I already did that. Yes, I already did that. So the next section is called developing a role self. Developing a role self. ROLESELF. Developing a role self. If your parents or caregivers don't adequately respond to your true self in childhood, you'll figure out what you need to do to make a connection. Instead of just being who you are, you'll develop a role self. Okay? Baby. Taylor had a role self at the house, okay? You'll develop a role self or pseudo self that will give you a secure place in your family system. This role self gradually replaces the spontaneous expression of the true self. This role self might be based on a belief such as I'll become so self-sacrificing that other people will praise me and love me. Or it might take the negative form of I'll make them pay attention to me one way or another. The process of assuming a role self is unconscious. Nobody sets out to do it deliberately. We create our role selves gradually through trial and error as we see the reactions of others. Regardless of whether a role self seems positive or negative, as children, we saw it as the best way to belong. Then, as adults, we tend to keep playing our role in hopes that someone will pay attention to us in the way we wished our parents had. You may wonder why all children don't make up wonderfully positive role selves, why so many people are acting out roles of failure, anger, mental disturbance, emotional volatility, or other forms of misery. One answer is that not every child has the inner resources to be successful and self-controlled in interactions with others. Some children's genetics and neurology propel them into impulsive reactivity instead of constructive action. Let me say that again. Some children's genetics and neurology propel them into impulsive reactivity instead of constructive action. So the best example I can give of that is my childhood and my siblings. So there's 5 of us in my mom's house. 1, 3, and 5. I would say are more on the reactivity side, where it's like, because what I'll say about them is that about those siblings of mine, they don't take no shit and they're bold. And they were always seen as misbehaving because they didn't go into that space of, well, if I give up everything, if I'm good, I'll get love. While number 2 and 4, we were just like the Libra and the Cancer. We were just like, if I behave, I'll get love, right? If I do good in school, I'll get love, because it wasn't like we were the well-behaved kids. We were the not fussy kids. We are also the kids that have a hard time standing up for ourselves. We are also the kids that have to do extra work to be strong enough to deal with this world. Meanwhile, 1, 3, 5, they 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, they may not have necessarily just like walked into school and that it came like that to them, But they also were just like, you gonna pay attention to me, you gonna love me, and you're not going to treat me like this. And that's how they were with my parents. It's like, it's not that they didn't want love or they weren't deserving of love or that their behavior, and I'm saying behavior like this because they weren't bad. None of my siblings are bad. None of my siblings are misbehaved. My siblings reacted to their environment. My siblings reacted to the trauma they were experiencing. So you acting up in middle school because you're getting bullied, but you can't come to your parents because your parents aren't particularly protective of you, or they're going to tell you not to fight back or whatever it is. All right. Well, I'm gonna misbehave then. I'm gonna act up. Since I gotta get bullied and I don't have nobody coming to defend me, I'm gonna act up. I'm gonna cut up. What's up? Like oh, you're going to be aggressive towards me at home. You're going to be all rah, 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 rah with me at home. Cool. I'm gonna get rah, rah with you too, because you ain't about to violate my body. I'm still a person, and you're not about to violate my space without some pushback. God, I love my siblings so much. Like, they don't even know. Like, they know I love them. They know I love them. And I'm so thankful to seeing them stand up for themselves in the ways that they did, because it was seen as disrespectful. It was seen as something that, like, oh, you're not behaving. But in reality, they were learning life skills at that moment that I needed, because I endured a lot of stuff. And there's some stuff that they've endured stuff as well. They've endured a lot of stuff as well. But there's some stuff that they just not going to take because of the fact that they are bold enough to stand up for themselves. And I am so blessed to be able to be related to them, to see that. Let's continue. You may wonder why all children don't make up wonderfully positive role selves, why so many people are acting out roles of failure, anger, mental disturbance, emotional volatility, or other forms of misery. One answer is that not every child has the inner resources to be successful and self-controlled in interactions with others. Some children's genetics and neurology propel them into impulsive reactivity instead of constructive action. Another reason negative self-roles arise is that it's common for emotionally immature parents to subconsciously use different children in the family to express unresolved aspects in their own role self and healing fantasies. Sorry, I just got real caught up in that. So, sorry, let me read that normally. Another reason negative self-roles arise is that it's common for emotionally immature parents to subconsciously use different children in the family to express unresolved aspects of their own role self and healing fantasies. For instance, one child may be idealized and indulged as the perfect child, while another is tagged as incompetent, always screwing up, and needing help. That's what I just described between me and my siblings. 1 through 5 were treated as incompetent, always screwing up and needing help. 2 and 4 were treated as perfect children, golden children. Just so y'all know, my arm hurts. I got my second vax today. I got my second vaccine today, so my arm hurts. I hope that I'm not sick tomorrow. I hope I don't have flu-like symptoms tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to take care of myself. But I got my vaccine today. So y'all go out there and get your vaccine, please. Go get your vaccine. Y'all, please. Thank you. The next section is called How Parents Influence Development of the Role Self. An example of a parent who pressures a child into a role self would be an insecure mother who reinforces the fears of a clingy, anxious child to give herself a secure role as the center of that child's life. Finally, someone really needs me. Okay, I read that too fast and I didn't get it, so I need to read that again. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm real hyped. I'm excited. I'm drinking this. So exploring my caffeine options. Pause. Exploring my caffeine options. I don't like drinking coffee because I don't like what it does to my tummy. I don't really want to drink Red Bull because that's just mostly sugar and it gives you a sugar high. Don't really like how concentrated 5-hour energy is. But one drink I like is Uptime. That one is a mental stimulant and is really great. Another drink I'm starting to get into, this is my second time having it, is Body Armor Edge. It has caffeine and electrolytes in it. This is not an ad. This is just me suggesting this to y'all because it hydrates and caffeinates. And we love hydration with caffeination. Amen. Amen. I'm a little hyped because I haven't had caffeine in a couple of days and, need that in my veins. Don't mind me. So how much time we got? Cool. We're good on time. All right. An example of a parent who pressures a child into a role self would be an insecure mother who reinforces the fears of a clingy, anxious child to give herself a secure role as the center of that child's life. Finally, someone really needs me. So basically, they're constantly feeding into their child's insecurities and anxiety so that their child relies on them for emotional support. Boo, that's whack. Another example will be a father with unresolved feelings of inadequacy who belittles his son in order to feel strong and capable in comparison. I've seen that plenty of times. I'm the competent one who has to correct everyone else. Or perhaps both parents turn a blind eye to their own underlying anger and self-centeredness and see these traits in their child instead. We're loving parents, but our kid is mean and disrespectful. I've seen that too, where they're nice. They're so nice. They're so nice, but their child is bad. When people call their child bad, I get mad about that. It really bothers me when people call their child bad because these children ain't bad. These kids ain't bad, man. They really not. Like, they really not bad. Like, it bothers me because it's like, okay, is that child bad or is that child emotionally immature because their parents are emotionally immature? Is that child bad or is that child's behavior a symptom of something that you need to get checked out, but you so worried about them being bad that you're not even going to go check? Is that child bad? Or is that child not getting loved on? Is that child bad or does that child need structure? Is that child bad? Or is that child feeling abandoned or neglected? Is that child bad? Because kids don't come out the womb bad. Kids don't turn bad. Kids are curious. Kids will try you because they need to see how far they can go. I love kids. I really do. And one of these days, I'm going to have my own. Whew. I'm learning all this stuff so I can be a good ass mom. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Wow, my arm's starting to hurt. These kids ain't bad, man. They really not. These kids don't really need these whoopings like y'all think they do. They don't. Because if their emotional needs are being met, if they get to see you, these kids ain't bad, man. These kids ain't bad. Welcome in. We are reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Welcome in. All right. So let's continue. Few parents consciously intend to undermine their child's future, but their own anxieties may make them see their own negative, undesired qualities in their children. Ooh, because then your child becomes a mirror of the things you didn't work on and the things that you deal with. And because you didn't solve and resolve and heal up before you had the child, your behavior mimics your parents, and then your kids end up acting like you, and then you see your stuff in your kid, or your how trauma can be passed along in DNA, and our behaviors and stuff can be passed along in DNA. Like, that's real, bruh. That's real. And if you got unresolved trauma in your life, and then you have a kid, you could possibly pass that on to your child the way that our ancestors passed on That's why we can still feel those effects of slavery now, because that stuff was passed through our genetics, epigenetics. Thank you, Shannon. This is a powerful psychological defensive reaction that's beyond their conscious control. As a child, if you found a role that fit your parents' needs, like a key in a lock, you probably would have quickly identified with this role self. In the process, your true self would have become more invisible as you transformed into what your family system needed you to be. This kind of disinvestment from your true self can sabotage your intimate relationships as an adult. You can't forge a deep and satisfying relationship from the position of a role self. You have to be able to express enough of your true self to give the other person something real to relate to. Without that, the relationship is just play acting between two role selves. So, you know how when you leave your mama's house and then you go out and you color your hair, you wear different clothes, you do all the crazy stuff because you're trying to be yourself and you don't really know what yourself is. So you go out trying to find yourself. But if you stay in that role that you adopted as a child, that you needed to use to survive your childhood, and you don't ever develop out of that role, and you don't ever go and identify your true self, and you just hop from relationship to relationship to relationship, then you find out that you really aren't yourself. And you get into these relationships and you can't connect because you're not being yourself. What T.S. Madison say? She said, be yourself, bitch. Be yourself. This is why I do this. This is why I do the show. This is why I do what I do, because I want us to be ourselves. I have spent 29 years of my life not being myself, being versions of myself, being these little pockets, finding these little pockets of myself and not really knowing what to do with it. No, open the box, y'all. Open the box, reach your arm out and be like, hey, true self, this is me. Let me see what this looks like. Because it's time for us to be ourselves. We cannot even really enjoy intimate relationship with people if we aren't true to who we are. If we aren't true to who we are, we cannot enjoy intimate relationships with people. Oh, I'm going to continue. We are reading Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents if you're just now joining us. Okay. Another problem with the role self is that it doesn't have its own source of energy. It has to steal vitality from the true self. Whew, this is hitting close to home in a way that I was not prepared. Another problem with the role self is that it doesn't have its own source of energy. It has to steal vitality from the true self. Playing a role is much more tiring than just being yourself because it takes a huge effort to be something you are not. It takes a huge effort to be something you are not. It takes a huge effort to be something you are not. It takes a huge effort to be something you are not. Be yourself. Fuck a secret. Fuck a lie. If they don't like you, fuck them. Not literally, don't do that. Don't actually engage in coitus with them, but forget them. Let them go. Let them go do their thing because they don't matter. People that don't accept you for who you are all the way through as your true self, they don't matter. They don't matter. They're not here for you. I don't care what your relationship is. If they can't accept you as your true self, then you need to move on. Because it's like, I get it. When it's like, especially when it's our families and our parents and stuff like that, it's hard because you feel obligated and you're like, oh, my parents, my holiday. But you know what? You know what? Who are you robbing if you're not yourself? Who are you helping? Who are you helping if you're not yourself? You're helping like 3 people be comfortable. Meanwhile, the rest of the world needs you to be yourself so that you can use your gifts to make the world a better place. Meanwhile, the world needs you to be you. The world needs me to be me so that I can do this. If I was worried about what my mama thought, I'd be up here shy acting, clothes up to here, not expressing myself the way I want to. If I was worried about what my parents thought. My daddy hates my hair. He told me. Straight up. I asked my daddy, my biological father, Daddy, you like my hair? He said, I hate it. But if I did things based on what my daddy likes, I wouldn't be up here looking like a baldy bad bitch. So, you know, this stuff like this, wearing stuff like this, I look like I want men to come and talk to me sexually. No. I can't help that this dress and my breasts may not necessarily be compatible. I can't help that. Am I going to wear it anyway? Yes. Because guess what? I'm not about to sit here and wear a size large because my boobs are large, but the rest of my body's small. Fuck out of here. I'm going to wear what I want to wear because this is what makes me feel good. This is what makes me feel good. This is what makes me feel like I'm being my true self. This is what makes me feel like I'm being me. Be yourself. Don't actually engage in coitus with them. Thank you. Okay. Because then we get in, because trying to please our parents and trying to be approved, like trying to gain their approval, bruh, like, yes, it sucks being isolated from your family because they don't fuck with who you are. It sucks. Or you can't fuck with them because they don't respect who you are. It sucks. It's incredibly lonely. It is. But you know what happens on the other side of it? When you're being yourself, you meet people who are cool with that. And then you never, ever have to be fake. You never, ever have to put on or reserve a part of yourself or hold something back or be like, ooh, let me not say that. You don't ever have to, ooh, let me not say that. Or, ooh, let me not do that. You don't ever have to worry about that because your found family loves you exactly for who you are. You come as you are, and that's what they love. Be yourself. Be yourself. Should always wear what you want to wear. Men shouldn't be sexualizing what you wear, thinking it's for their eyes. It's not. It's for women to feel themselves and feel beautiful. Yes. AJ over here said, live your life. Either they will love it, grow to love it, or try to change you to their convenience. Boom and boom. Y'all on point. Y'all on point tonight. Okay? I love it. I love that we got this conversation going. I love it. Person on YouTube, you got anything? I appreciate you watching. I don't know if you have anything for me, person on YouTube, but you know, if you do, throw something out there. I love to hear your thoughts and ideas. All right. So you have to be able to express your true self enough. Okay. We did that already. All right. Playing a role is much more tiring than just being yourself because it takes a huge effort to be something you are not. And because it's made up, the role self is insecure and afraid of being revealed as an imposter. How many of us have imposter syndrome? Feel like we don't deserve, when good things happen to us, we don't deserve it because the created self that we've made, we feel like the created self that we made doesn't deserve it. Or we hear that person's voice in our head that tells us we don't deserve it, or that you shouldn't be doing that. I don't really like that you doing that. You doing what? You making this? You selling that on the internet? Do you really think that that's going to do anything? You hearing that voice? I mean, having a degree is cool and everything, but just because you have a degree, it don't make you smarter than everybody else. That's that voice. When you go out and you do things like, listen, the amount of imposter syndrome I've had to freaking push away and deal with in this space, doing this, y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot because there's this part of me that tells me I don't deserve this space. There's a part of me that tells me it's stupid for me to even do this. Why you keep showing up and it's only 2 or 3 people watching? Because consistency, because practice, because I deserve to do this. I deserve a space where I can do what I want to do. You deserve a space where you can do what you want to do and where you can be yourself. You're not an imposter. If you are being your true self and you are doing what you truly want to do, y'all, I'm gonna look you in your eyes. You are not an imposter, baby. You are not an imposter. You are not an imposter, baby. If you are doing what you truly want to do and you are being your truest, most authentic self, you are not an imposter. You are on your right path. If you are doing what you really want to do and if you are being yourself, you are not an imposter. You are on the right path. Okay? All right? Mama Taylor got you. I ain't got no kids, but I got the heart of a mama. I got the heart of a mama. Okay? Playing a role self usually doesn't work in the long run because it can never completely hide people's true inclinations. Sooner or later, their genuine needs will bubble up. When people decide to stop playing the role and live more from their true self, they can go forward with more lightness and vitality. There's an exercise here. We'll do the exercise, y'all. We'll do the exercise and then stop after that, okay? So the exercise, ooh, y'all might have to get some paper. Y'all might have to get some paper, okay? Watch the playback for this part for yourselves, okay? I'm gonna have to do it. You'll need 2 pieces of paper for this exercise. Oh, y'all got homework. Oh, y'all ready for some homework? Yes. Okay, homework. All right, and then we're gonna end. So this is your homework for tonight. All right. It feels nice to give out homework. I ain't no teacher, but you know what Beyonce said? She said, I ain't a teacher, babe, but I can teach something. Not a preacher, but we can pray if you wanna. Ain't a doctor, but I can make you feel better. But I'm great and right in physical love letters. Who needs a degree when you're schooling life? All right, y'all. Homework time. Yay. Y'all don't really have to do it, but if you want to, feel free. The exercise is called Identifying Your Healing Fantasy and Role Self. All right, listen up, write it down, okay? You'll need 2 pieces of paper for this. I'll do it too. I'll make sure I do it too so we can do it, so I can show y'all what I came up with, okay? Promise. Pinky promise. Pinky promise. Pinky. It's a pinky promise. All right, you'll need 2 pieces of paper for this exercise. At the top, title 1, Healing Fantasy, and the other, Role Self. This first part of this exercise will help you explore and identify your own healing fantasy. At the top of your healing fantasy page, copy and complete the following sentences. Don't think about it too much. Just write down what immediately comes to you. All right, so these are the sentences y'all gonna have to finish, okay? The first sentence says, I wish other people were more blank. I wish other people were more blank. Why is it so hard for people to blank? Why is it so hard for people to blank? For a change, I would love someone to treat me like blank. Excuse me, y'all, that is so rude of me. I had a soul food wrap today. It was very good. It had chicken, collard greens, and mac and cheese wrapped in a freaking ooh, it was so good. For a change, I would love someone to treat me like blank. Maybe one of these days I'll find someone who will blank. Maybe one of these days I'll find someone who will blank. In an ideal world with good people, other people would blank. In an ideal world with good people, other people would blank. Now, we'll use a similar process to help you discover your role self. On your role self page, copy and complete the following sentences, again, writing down the first thing that comes to your mind without thinking. I try hard to be blank. I try hard to be blank. The main reason people like me is because I blank. The main reason people like me is because I blank. Other people don't appreciate how much I blank. Other people don't appreciate how much I blank. I always have to be the one who blank. I always have to be the one who blank. I've tried to be the kind of person who blank. I've tried to be the kind of person who blank. After completing the sentences, use the words and ideas from your responses to write 2 short descriptions, one for your healing fantasy and one for your role self. These descriptions will reveal your secret ideas about how other people should change in order to make you feel valued and how you think you must behave to be loved. Woo! That's not going to be fun to do. So sorry, that's the assignment tonight, y'all. Whoo! Finally, write a short summary about what it's like trying to get others to change and how it felt to play the role self you've described in this exercise. Do what you want to keep these fantasies and roles. Sorry. Do you want to keep these fantasies and roles, or are you ready to explore and express your true individuality? If you're ready to live more in keeping with your true self, the rest of this book will help you do just that. And on that note, I'm going to stop. The next section we're going to do is 2 styles of coping with emotionally immature parents, but we have a great place to stop. That's your homework for tonight, class. Hold on, where's mine? All right, class, that's your homework for tonight. Have that turned in by 6 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. Have that in my Dropbox. Have that in my Dropbox by 5:59 p.m. so that when we start tomorrow at 6, I'll already have your assignments. There's no Dropbox. Don't drop it off anywhere. Just do it for yourself. Share it with those around you. Okay? If you want to share it, if you would like to share what you got with me, you can email me at MissTaylorSaid@gmail.com. if you want to share what you came up with. All right, y'all. So thankful for y'all being here. I'm so thankful for y'all taking the time. Yes, there's actual homework. I mean, y'all grown. Do what y'all want to do. But this is a tool. This is an exercise to help us become our best and highest, truest selves, to be the youest you that you can possibly be. Because that's all I'm trying to do is help you be the youest you can possibly be. All right? I hope y'all have a great night. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Feel the love coming out of my hands. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for your time. Thank you so much for the support. If you're watching this, please like, share, comment, and if you are not subscribed and following me, I Miss Taylor Said on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, anywhere there's something. Miss Taylor Said is, and I ain't gonna lie, Miss Taylor Said ain't everywhere, but look up Miss Taylor Said on the social medias like you like and see if I'm there. And if I'm there, follow me, like me, go through my stuff, find videos and pictures and stuff that you like, and comment and like them and share them and all the things. If you're on Instagram and you fuck with my show, create a folder, a saved folder, a collection in your saved. And when you watch a video, any of my videos, put it in your saved, because it helps it helps me in the algorithm, I think. That's what I've heard. Anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a great night. I will see y'all tomorrow at 6. And I hope y'all have a great night. Bye. Bye. Let me end YouTube first. See you, YouTube. Hold on. See you, YouTube.